fathers of Rwanda. By forgiving, we live. Today's gospel tells us about forgiveness, an aspect of our faith. What is forgiveness? How do we forgive? If we analyze the word forgive, we find two particles. The particle for, which means completely, excessive, or more than, and the particle give, which means to offer. Forgiveness is therefore something that is offered to a person. Forgiveness is an offer which exceeds what can be expected, because true forgiveness comes from the bottom of one's heart. In the heart, there is what really matters: love. The gospel invites us to decide to ignore the evil done to us in order to give a new chance, a relationship that's broken or hurt. The fruit of this process is reconciliation. Forgiveness is found in almost all religions of the world. But the religion of Jesus is a religion of forgiveness par excellence. For all the evil we do, God forgives us in Jesus, who himself is the very example of this forgiveness. Jesus forgave us on the cross and asks us to do the same, to be reconciled with God and our neighbor. The sacrament of reconciliation, which we receive, comes from this very source. In this sacrament, we recognize that we have offended God and others. We ask God to forgive us, to give us more than we deserve. This reconciliation with God must be translated into a new life, insofar as we regret the wrong we have done to one another, as created in the image and likeness of God. We are committed to starting afresh on a new ground, the ground of God's children. We promise to no longer offend Him in ourselves, in others, and in God's creation. Forgiveness is so important that it has become central even in the socio-political management of post-conflict societies. The sustainable reconstruction of our societies requires forgiveness. We are talking about truth and reconciliation mechanism, which is a process where certain citizens are invited to tell the truth about crimes committed in order to obtain forgiveness. Speaking the truth comes from the heart, the very seat of love. The principle that governs the Christian life is love, that goes to the extent of loving one's enemies. The power of love is that one can forgive even one's enemies. Yet we know it's not easy to forgive. This is the very concern of Simon Peter. How many times should I forgive? Up to 7 times? Jesus tells us not just 7 times, but 70 times, 7 times. For the Christian, forgiveness must be a culture, a habit. But how to forgive? There are 3 ways. The first way is to take the time to calm our anger and give reason a chance, because reason is our participation in God's life. Reason is one aspect of the image and likeness of God in us. When someone offends us, we tend to react quickly and violently because of anger, without asking ourselves if this is the right way to go. If God was reacting in this way, nobody would survive. Nobody will go to heaven. Secondly, we must see the offense that is done to us from the perspective of God. God uses hatred, offense, the wrong and injury caused to us to improve our character. If under the power of the Spirit of God, we can endure hatred, anger of others, the evil of others, then we have the virtue of the children of God. We are able to forgive. Thirdly, we have to sit in the presence of God and remember how many times God has forgiven us in prayer. God forgives us so that we can move from death to life. In so doing, God invites us to see in forgiveness the opportunity for those who have offended us, the chance to live. By doing evil to others, we die. By forgiving them, we live. By forgiving like God, we live the life of God. Have a good day.